last one for me.
So wait. So
I already
do you?
did mine. We're in round 4.
You want 4 picks? What
never
do you?
mind. No,
okay. All right.
No.
Good. Just wanted to make sure.
I'm
Kid
sorry.
can't even...
I was sitting
Wait.
stressed
Didn't
out
Brady
because I didn't have
teach
any
you? It's 1, 2, 3, 4. I knew it was third down all along. Oh, fourth down. I mean.
That's good. Well done. That helmet looks a little snug.
Little snug
I
in
looked
there.
I looked a little green. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
You notice I looked green
You're
yesterday?
confused, and you just threw an interception on fourth down. You thought it was third. What are you doing?
Now, look, I don't want to belabor the point because I have a feeling he's going to be one of the GOATs in a bad way in the draft coming up. But here's Tom Brady's congratulatory tweet to LeBron James after James won his 4th title. Congrats to my brother King James on winning his 4th championship. Not bad for a washed-up old guy. He uses the photo of Brady's body and arm with the 4 from Thursday night with LeBron James taking the place of Brady's head. It's Tom, you're not allowed to make light of your mistake from the other night until you own it.
Yeah, right. I think that's
you can't. I think that's just a rule of self-deprecation.
I agree.
You can't refuse to own the mistake and then get in on the act of everyone who is punking you for your mistake, right? I think that's just basic etiquette of making fun of yourself. You have to admit the mistake before you can join in the fun that everyone is making of you.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, you can't capitalize on the fruits of the labor here when you didn't want to admit wrong when the game was over. You know, that I can't even lie, that rubbed me the wrong way. It did. It really did. Like, I don't know. If you're a superstar, you're not allowed to make a mistake ever anymore and admit that? Is that the world we're in? Just deny. I mean, to me, it made me mad because it's like, stop playing me like an idiot. Stop playing me like an idiot, okay? You can't yell at rookie receivers last year in New England and then yell at the offensive linemen during the game the other night and put them on blast on national TV on everybody. And then when it comes to your mistake, the whole organization has to find some way to finagle it so you don't feel so bad. Come on. That's bullcrap. Yeah, that is lack of etiquette. I don't even know what that is. That's bad.
And let me tell you, when Bruce Arians covers for you twice, that tells me that Tommy was not happy with what Arians did after week 1, even though nobody's ever going to say any of it publicly. But Arians, in my estimation, got the message that his usual habit of publicly trashing anyone who deserves it stops when it comes to the GOAT. The GOAT in a good way.
Yeah.
But I have a feeling he's going to be one of the GOATs in a bad way. And I'm going to give you the first pick. No trivia question today, even if you do take Tom Brady, although that'll be my first pick if you don't.
Okay,
So,
well, then I'll take it then. Okay, I'll take it. Yeah, of course I'm going to take that. I mean, come on. This is the GOAT, right? I mean, he is one of the greatest of all time. There's no doubt about that. Everything he did, all of that. But, yeah, that was a big moment. I mean, that really was. So, to lose track of the downs, hey, should somebody have probably reminded him on Tampa? Yes, there's no doubt. I'm not trying to give them, an escape hatch here. But Brady's played enough football, 20 years in the game, awesome, everything like that. It's just rare that he messes up a mistake like that and doesn't realize the down and the situation of the football game. So because of that, and the game was still on the table there, and there was somebody open on that play underneath and all of that, yes, he will be my first pick of the GOAT draft.
And you compound the mistake by refusing to own up to it. It's an opportunity for him to have a human moment. We all make mistakes.
Yep.
We all screw up at times. It's okay, right? They're not going to cut him if he admits that he made the mistake. They're not going to stop the production of his eventual bust that's going to go into Canton. And I've said before, he could have 2 busts in Canton. One for his career pre-2008, one for his career post-2008. None of that changes. It just makes him look small. It really does. Admit your mistakes. Life goes on. And when everyone knows you made the mistake, your refusal to admit it just makes you look not good.
Yeah.
Speaking of guys who look not good this week, Phillip Rivers. The 2 interceptions, the ugly one we talked about earlier that Ronnie Harrison was just like, hey, look at this. There's a football. I'll grab it. And, I run that way. Okay, touchdown for me. The safety that he took
Yeah, that
just
was his
ugly.
fault.
And there,
Right.
look, there was a guy bearing down on him, but still, it just was an ugly moment, and it was an ugly game for Phillip Rivers. And I'm not saying this to be proven right, because I had very real doubts about him after last season, and he defied those doubts for 3 weeks. But now it's back to kind of what it was week 1 and last year, where, hey, they asked the question of Frank Reich for a reason as to whether or not Jacoby Brissett may replace Phillip Rivers. The people who cover the team are seeing it. The fans are seeing it. We're seeing it, and he deserves that designation after how he played against the Browns.
Yeah, that's right. Well, we've seen 2 games where, like, they kind of put it in, like, okay, we're going to put it in your hands. We're going to throw the ball a little bit more, and those are the games they've lost. Jacksonville and last week, to where, I was a little surprised, like we talked about, they didn't play through the run. But you're right, Mike. I mean, the safety was his fault. There's no denying that. If he just steps up in the pocket, there's nobody there. He literally floated back to where Myles Garrett never had to turn the corner. He just ran a straight diagonal line, and that's where Phillip Rivers was. So his pocket awareness and then the pick six, that cost him 9 points in the second half, and, of course, that was a difference in the game. All right, so I'm going to go to your Minnesota Vikings.
Bingo!
Yay! I got to do it. I mean, I got to go with Alexander Mattison, of course, just because of the hole that was there on 4th and half a foot.
What hole?
That hole with the big yellow that we saw there.
I didn't
that said
see a
go
hole.
that way. Right? I mean, I don't want to put – I want to put it on him, everybody on the Vikings offense who are just not putting that game away. But obviously – he put his head low and tried to just dig into a little, daylight or crack of light there, and he missed a huge hole there. That would have been an easy first down all the way. So I'll make him one of my goats of the week.
Yeah, the Gale Sayers saying is 18 inches of daylight, not 18 feet of daylight, which is what Alexander Mattison had. Mike Zimmer, by the way, the coach of the Vikings, who made the decision to go for it in that spot, said Monday he would do it again. And that's what you expect. You can't show any lack of resolve, right? You still have to be the guy who runs your team. You have to show faith in your guys. I'm showing faith in my guys, and I'll show faith in my guys again, even though they're giving me reason not to show faith in them. All right, next one for me. Let's go to last night. Michael Badgley. Mike Williams makes one of the great catches of the season, has his helmet ripped off, comes down, lands hard on his back with 2 guys on top of him. That's the moment where we all say, man, the Chargers are going to beat the Saints. The Saints are going to be 2-3. Holy crap. Out comes Michael Badgley for a 50-yarder, which once upon a time was a big deal, but now 50-yarders like a 37-yarder was back in the 70s, and he stoinks it off the upright. And it was weird because it looked like it was going to go through.
Yeah, it did.
Because it hit the inside of the pipe. And I thought at first it was going to carry him in, and it falls straight down, and then the Chargers lose in overtime. So sorry, Money Badger. If you're going to try to be called Money Badger, you got to be money, and you
right.
weren't.
No, you're right. It is. It's funny how you, for whatever reason right now with kickers too, I feel more confident when they're going to kick a 50-yard field goal than I do when they're going to kick the extra point. For whatever reason, too. I don't know what that is right now in their psyche or my psyche. But, yeah, that was rough. Typical Chargers loss. All right, I'm going to go to one here that really got not enough attention last week, and the team won. So you got bailed out here, the head coach. All right? But I'm going back to that Bucs-Bears game. I'm going back to that Matt Nagy, okay, 2nd and 9 pass play on – when the game is, they're running out the clock, and you leave Tom Brady a minute and 13 seconds left to all he has to do is go down and kick a field goal. That, to me, was one of the dumber moves of the weekend. They missed an opportunity where there should have been 40 seconds left, more off the clock. I mean, really, they should have got the ball there, and Brady should have snapped the first play probably with 30-something seconds left in the game if Matt Nagy runs the ball on 2nd and 3rd down. He ran it on 3rd, but on 2nd, of course, he threw it, incomplete, stopped the pass. So that, to me, was such horrible game management, and they were so fortunate to win the game with Brady messing up and all of that. Because if they didn't, I think everybody would still be talking about how Matt Nagy blew it in an easy run the clock out situation.
I'm torn for my last one. I was thinking about A.J. Green. There's that clip of the interception and him making multiple business decisions to the point where he ultimately sprinted away from the area of the contact to avoid impinging upon his future earning ability. But you know what? Hey, look, it's done for him in Cincinnati. I can't fault him for that. And they didn't lose that game because of him. You can make the argument the Eagles lost the game because of Doug Peterson's decision to trot out Jake Elliott for a 57-yard field goal in a stadium where no 57-yard field goal had ever been made.
Yeah.
Right? And it's one thing to say, hey, my guy's got the leg. He may have the leg in any other stadium, and he did have the distance, but it's got to be the distance and the accuracy. Sometimes when you put that extra on it because you know you have to put the extra on it because of the winds and just the way it is at Heinz Field, that's what causes it to go askew. So it's 4th and 5. 4th and 5. And again, it's easy with hindsight, but 57 yards at Heinz Field, not the thing to do, not the spot for that, especially when you have other options. So
I agree with you.
Doug Peterson is my last one.
Or punt the ball.
Hey,
I mean, what was wrong with that? I mean, Pittsburgh's defense wasn't doing.
Exactly.
I mean, offense wasn't doing anything special. So I don't get that one either. You're right.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.